1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it up. 2, 3, 4. Hello everyone. I call myself Zondagskind and this is the 22nd challenge of the challenge marathon with Wu Zetian of China. Let's first look at her abilities. Manual of Entrapment. All offensive spies operate at one level higher. Whenever an offensive spy mission is successful, you also gain 100% of the faith, culture, and science that targeted city earned that turn. It's hard to say how powerful this is exactly, especially because you don't really get a pop-up saying, hey, you've got so much faith and so much culture and so much science. So it's hard to say how powerful this is exactly, and it feels more like it's on the back burner and it's not as impactful as, for example, the free builder that that Mandate of Heaven Qin Shi Huang gets. But you know, it's trying to make spies better. Spies in Civ 6 aren't particularly powerful in general. But receiving a free spy and spy capacity after discovering defensive tactics it means that you, even against deity AI, will very likely be the first one with spies on the board. And that spy should then not have too much of a problem getting its first level with a Siphon Funds mission. And at least if you have one spy with a couple of promotions on the board, that one should do some work for you. And you can purchase spies with faith. That's nice because you can't purchase spies with gold. So just making sure that you can materialize spies out of nothing is nice. It's one of those things that you otherwise have to produce, and that's kind of awkward to find a city to find to produce. Dynastic Cycle is just the normal Chinese ability that Eureka's and Inspiration provide. An extra 10% of civics and technologies just means that you want to hunt them for them even more. And if you can't get a certain Eureka and Inspiration, then you can hope that you can get it from a wonder, because when you complete a wonder, you get one of the appropriate Eurekas and Inspirations. Very powerful ability, especially once you know the game a little better and you're good at, well, first discerning which ones you should actually go for, Eurekas and Inspirations, but then actually getting them as well. The Crouching Tiger, I've said this multiple times, I think this is probably the worst unique unit in the game because of its low range and the fact that you can't promote into it. The Great Wall, however, is a great tile improvement that I really neglected the last time I played China, so I want to make up for that. Gives you a flat 2 gold every time, and it works kind of like a fort. But also, if you put them in a row, you get 2 gold extra for an adjacent one, and 2 culture from castles, if I remember correctly. And then also you get tourism once you get to flight. They have to be built in a line. You can't build them in a triangle. You probably know this stuff already if you watch a bit of Civ 6 content. Amazing tile, like if you put them in a row, then the middle ones get 6 gold for culture. That's amazing. The only downside is that because there is no food and production involved, you can't just like settle a city and start working the Great Walls immediately. But that's the only problem, that you need other tiles as well. Then let's look at the achievements I want to have you do. The Secret Police appoint all governors. The Classic of Accusation, finish with at least 1 thrice promoted spy. You get the pop-up for that, but you have to actually keep that unit alive for the end of the game. Giant Wild Goose Pagoda, finish with at least 1 pagoda and or Mahabodhi temple. People have complained to me that this means that you have to evangelize your own religion. Well, you can also conquer it, of course. Il Principe, finish with the Machiavellianism card in your government. And Paul says that Canberra is under siege.
My spy Paul uncovered news that Canberra is facing a siege. No, Paul, you don't say.
Shout out to Ursa Ryan. Finish with at least 1 spy performing the Listening Post mission. Then, for this start, I like that you start with Ivory. You have good tiles here to work very soon. It's not all great, like spawning next to a flat desert and next to Mercury isn't amazing. But this spawn should work, and if you don't want to be spoiled, then you should click away now, because after the beep, I will show you how my endgame save looks and whether or not I did the achievements. See you in a bit. So here we are in the endgame state, and I have taken this game with a turn 211 diplomacy victory. Well, I got lucky. There was an early tribal village with a relic, and that meant that I had the option of taking Sacred Path, and with so much rainforest around my initial cities, I thought that was a grand idea. Took that for +5 and a +3 holy site over here, and I think initially this was even a +4. And we got to a first religion, our only religion, of course, at turn 56, the religion of spying. So, Sacred Path is the Pantheon, with work ethic that gives us amazing productions on our holy sites as well. The Pagoda, because it was required for an achievement and also diplomatic victory. World Church to get a bit of extra culture, since at this point we weren't at defensive tactics yet, and basically culture is how you get to more spy capacity. And Crusade, because I believe at this point I was already at war with Nubia, or I was already eyeing her up. She was to the north of us, and yeah, she was annoying, of course, because the extra experience on her ranged units, and she just produces them faster. But we were able to cut through and settle more cities to the north of that. First wonder at turn 52 was Temple of Artemis, of course synergized nicely with the ivory here, and the bananas, which we therefore kept. Also, with this pasture, it gives us an amenity. Not the best Artemis of all time, but getting those first good tiles with the ivory, and then having the amenities from it with Artemis and the food and housing that Artemis gives. I mean, otherwise you would never have had 25 population at this point in Chengdu. Also, Chengdu became a Chichen Itza city plus a zoo city, so these rainforest tiles that of course I all kept because of Sacred Path are looking quite splendid indeed. Other than that, like I said, I wanted to make good on the fact that I didn't build a lot of Great Walls in the Mandate of Heaven game. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is a 50-tile Great Wall section. It's not the only one of the Empire, but it's certainly quite the banger. And as you can see here from the city names, part of it is right through our heartland, so to speak, through the east of our heartland, up through former Nubian territories and into the north where we settled new cities, and through the Petra city as well. So, quite the sight to behold, and certainly no one will ever think to attack us through those Great Walls. And they didn't have to, because I came after them instead. I did a lot of war. Funnily enough, I'm also still allied with 5 people, and this is the funniest thing. So, there's a military aid request. That's because I've racked up so many grievances that everyone is angry with me. Even the people who are allied with me. But also, I'm ahead in the Nobel Peace Prize. So, that's great. That's, of course, because of our diplomatic favor that we're getting from the Monarchic Legacy card, and having Renaissance walls, and from, of course, also from suzerainties. But definitely those walls are keeping us in the positive, or at least making the number go burr. We actually lost 2 points from a diplomatic victory resolution, so the congresses weren't all that fun. But I did get Mahabodhi Temple, of course, and Potala Palace, and Statue of Liberty, of course. That one is a given. So, yeah, got it to the victory in kind of the standard amount of time for me at the moment, like somewhere just past the 200 mark. So, yeah, that's nice. So, let's look at the achievements and whether I got them. The Secret Police appoint all governors, pretty self-explanatory that they are all here. Then, for the 2 spy promotion, I'm moving over here to the Mapuche. The classic of accusation, finish with at least 1 thrice promoted spy. The thrice promoted spy is here in Pikun Mapu, getting us more gold. Then on the other hand, I'll skip to the 5th one. Paul says the Canberra is under siege. Finish with at least 1 spy performing the listening post mission. That guy is in Ngulu Mapu because we are currently at war with the Mapuche. We nuked and liberated Hong Kong. I'm sure that the people will be very happy to be independent, but now living in radioactive waste. And as you can see, at this point, the Mapuche don't really pose a threat to us. Then, Giant Wild Goose Pagoda, finished with at least one pagoda, and Horma Bodhi Temple. Well, I'm not even going to count the pagodas, but you can see that we do have them in our religion, and we have built the Mahabodhi Temple over here. Then, Il Principe, finished with the Machiavellianism card in your government, and there it is, Machiavellianism in the diplomatic policies. So that religion must look very familiar if you also saw the Byzantium video, with the exception of this not being tithe. That's just how it is. Diplomatic victory, I think, probably one of the more formulaic ones, especially compared to how long it goes. I think culture is another one that goes very late, but there's far less formulaic. But you know, it is how it is, and I did have some fun also bullying people, and I was just one turn away from Operation Ivy as well, so I think that the rest of the world is more than happy to give this victory to me. In any case, YouTube, if you like that I won this diplomatic victory, then do please leave a like. If you think that I'm wrong about Wuzet-chan being worse than Mandate of Heaven Qin Shi Huang, then leave that comment and prepare to be debated. And in any case, you can subscribe and ding the bell so you know when the next episode goes live, and we will see you then. Bye bye.